Peace to the family. Pardon me, I'm chewing on this oatmeal raisin cookie. I want to know, what are y'all plans for the New Year's? I'm just taking a toll what's going on for the end of the year. Now, we know everything about this whole thing with the fiscal year and the real year in the spring. All right, cool. Let's do a spring. We'll do a spring thing, right? Even though nobody does niggas really don't do real New Year's ceremonies. They be like, the spring is in March, but they don't even really do shit. But anyway, whatever. The end of the fiscal year. This is on some business shit, right? This is still the end of the fiscal year. I want to know, is anything really going on? Should I know about? Has anybody put anything together? Is there any plans? And whatnot. And then after that, I want to have a discussion about what are some of the plans going into the winter, going into 2026 with the economy the way that it is, and I would say with the spiritual atmosphere or the spiritual temperature the way that it is. I want to have that discussion. Like, what's the best move moving into 2026 fiscal year? I'm going to bring somebody on and we're going to talk about it. Right? And then we'll have a discussion about something that we got coming up in the middle of the year. How many people would love to go away for 10 days into the jungles of the Amazon to work on healing? Not just healing, though, because 10 days is not just healing. Transformation. No, not just transformation, though. 10 days is a long time. You're going to do more than just a transformation. Re-emerging, or an emergence ceremony. And what is an emergence ceremony? An emergence ceremony is a ceremony that will help something emerge, right? So many of us, in my humble opinion, have dormant, I'm not going to call it spirits because you might get spooked out. Dormant powers, dormant models, right? Like, just think about the AI. Like, AI goes through a cycle of what they call recursion, right? It gets better throughout time and whatnot. It refines itself, okay? So ChatGPT 4 turns into 4.5, turns into 5, turns into 5.1. All of that is a feedback loop, right? And the machine or the model is improving itself, okay? And I know with human beings and whatnot, the shit that we go through, the things that we face in life, the challenges that we are pushing ourselves through and whatnot, the shit that might be knocking us down, that is actually the equivalent of a machine when they have like machine learning and whatnot, reinforcement learning. It's almost the equivalent of a machine refining itself, right? Recursion, right? Everybody has this Groundhog Day type of experience. Not everybody, of course, but a lot of people, they have a pattern, something about humans that is not often spoken of, but is very, you could prove this shit in so many ways, that humans are extremely predictive, okay? Humans follow prediction patterns almost to a T. There's not much that humans do that is not predictive, right? You're gonna take a shit. You're gonna go to sleep. You're gonna fornicate. You're gonna eat and whatnot. There's so many predictive things that humans do. So in that prediction, right, with knowing that we can predict our behaviors and whatnot, we also know that with that being said, and knowing that, we also know that others can actually use that against us, right? So what I'm seeing with humans and people being caught in these loops and whatnot is that they just keep you in a perpetual state of servitude. You know, they're keeping you in a perpetual state of paying bills and shit. They keep you in a perpetual state of, I'm gonna get to it. You know what I mean? They keep you in a perpetual state of, you know, the world is gonna end this week or this month. Every other month there's something new with you niggas, right? They keep you in a perpetual state of fear, doubt, you know, I guess it could be called uncomfort zones. You feel me? They keep us in a perpetual state of survival at the bottom of Maslow's pyramid. They keep mine in a perpetual state of motherfucking chasing the dog chasing the tail, right? The real Mr. Stewart said, that's why I moved to Thailand, to get out of this rut. Facts. Now think about that. The brother said that in order for him to emerge for some... Now, I would ask you, Mr. Stewart, I don't know you for the record, anybody watching. Me and Mr. Stewart, it's not like we're pen pals. I'm not really familiar with Mr. Stewart. However, I want to ask Mr. Stewart, has your journey overseas to Thailand allowed a greater portion of you to emerge? Have you actively seeked, right, the emergence of something greater, right, by moving out of your comfort zone into a foreign land and whatnot, and being on a new energy grid? Has it forced something greater within you to emerge? I was watching a video, I think it was the black dude that was married to Griselda, the Colombian godmother, right? All right, so Mr. Stewart said, absolutely, I have been able to breathe for the first time in my life. Do you know how profound that is? Do you know how profound that is? Do you know that means what that man just said, that he's been able to breathe for the first time in his life? So everything else prior to that, all of his accomplishments, all of the money that he may have gotten, all of the women that he may have been with, all of the material things that he's probably been able to purchase means nothing until he went and made that leap and he's able to motherfucking breathe for the first time. He's able to live for the first time, because keep in mind, breath is life, right? So if you don't even know how to breathe, some people don't even know how to live yet. What's fucking with that? They be walking around 40 years, 50 years, and you didn't even know, you haven't even lived yet, because literally the breath is life. And some of us are not living our quote unquote, we're living on false pretenses because we don't even breathe right. You know? So kudos to the good brother for going to Thailand and now being able to breathe. So now when you're able to breathe, what happens? The emergent process happens. Something that's inside of you that has been laying dormant will begin to emerge. The man just said, Mr. Stewart, who resides in Thailand, said, I was just existing in the U.S. and not living. How many people are ready to go into the jungles of the Amazon for 10 days so you could fucking live? Excuse me and pardon my French. I'm just very passionate about this idea, in this quote unquote vision that I have in my mind's eye right now. Because if 2026 doesn't represent transformation, it doesn't represent sacrifice. This is the horse year, right? It doesn't represent movement. It doesn't represent getting out of your comfort zone, especially after what you went through in 2025, seeing how this shit was washing everybody up, cleaning them up, beating them up, shaping them up, sizing them up. I don't know what to tell you. You know? There's a war going on inside. No man is safe from. You gotta get rid of them parasites. And you gotta purge. Right? You gotta let go of some things that's inside of you. You gotta get that food that's inside of you out of you, fam. You gotta get them parasites out of your brain and whatnot. You gotta heal from the childhood trauma. You gotta get into the ocean. You need the plants. You need some, yeah, this cookie is definitely bussin'. Vegan too. Shit tastes like it came from Mr. Drake's. But I do feel like the time is now. I do feel like the time is now. You feel me? I really do. I do feel like the time is now. And we're going to be making those moves into the jungles of the Amazon. I'm very proud to announce it took us it took me personally a minute. Blue has been going on these travels and whatnot. It's just taking me some time. But yeah, we're about to go into the jungle with my good brother Ghost. You know what I mean? He's trusted. He's been making excursions into the Amazon, and he offered a group of us the opportunity to go into the jungles as well. And yeah, I'm about to go take that journey. So that's what I'm doing in the beginning of my fiscal year. Based off of the way that 2025 is ending, just like all around, I know that 2026 is going to be transformative for so many people. So many people are going to have a reawakening. 2025 is the reckoning. 2026 is the reawakening. The real Mr. Stewart said the sun hit differently over here. I am charged at 100% for the first time ever. Damn, was fucking with that. Huh? You got me ready to get on a plane, fam. I'm talking on a plane right now, man. So salute to you. I love that for you. And I wish that other people experience that. Yeah, we pulling up to Thailand. That's a no-brainer. We'll be there very, very soon. Okay? Very soon. That's a fact. I want a lot of y'all to begin to experience outside of America, but not as a tourist. That shit dead too. Being loud and obnoxious as an American in foreign lands on some, or sex tourism. That's not what we're talking about. That's played out as well. That shit had its time, and that's blown over. We talking about going other places to activate, my nigga. We talking about going to other places to activate the grid and to activate your godhood and to activate into what? And to emerge, to help the god or the goddess emerge. Because you just not gonna wake up with this shit, bro. You just not gonna wake up. You niggas think y'all gonna just sit around and it's gonna be some fucking sunstorm and you niggas is gonna turn into Wolverine or something and fucking Jean Grey, nigga. That's not how it happens. It don't happen like that. You're gonna have to die. Okay? You're gonna have to die and then get brought back. Figuratively speaking, excuse me, Instagram. I don't want y'all to get alarmed. But you're going to have to go through the ego death. You're going to have to go through a ceremony, bro. You're going to have to go through some shit to activate yourself. You feel me? Peace to the God.
Oh, what's good, King?
God body, what's
Yo,
good with
Red.
you?
Everything is well. How about yourself, King? Appreciate you.
I'm
How we
here.
coming through on the mic? It's got good sounding?
It do got good sounding. You like far back though, but it got great sounding. I like the backdrop. The backdrop is given.
Let's
It's
get it.
given.
Absolutely. Yeah, we representing my aunt. You already know the jungle, the wings, the feathers, keeping the heart light. I just want to appreciate even being on with you, side by side, as kings arise. I appreciate you. Shout out to Red. You
No, we
heard?
do.
Yeah,
Fire
yo.
vibes. Fire. I see you in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
building. Fire. If you in
And
New
you got
York,
the
I need you
room.
to hold on. I'm talking to my guy on he in the chat with us.
Go
But
ahead.
he in New York with you too. You in New York, right, Ghost?
Absolutely. I'm in Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah, fire. I need you to hit me on the inbox. I gotta make the connection and breh, My lord.
Absolutely. So why?
Bridges for Bill. We have bridges for Bill. You know?
Absolutely. Yeah, link up.
Yeah, we have a connect Voltron because the time is now, man. I want you to introduce yourself to my audience. I'm sorry. I don't want to be rude and whatnot or pretentious.
Let's get it.
I brought you on without the invite. Let's go.
Let's get it. Yo, blessings. This the G host. We giving it to you live. We giving it to you raw. It's my aunt, Kinetic Hermetics. What we doing over here is we getting in tune with the mind, the body, and the spirit. Never forgetting about the soil or the soul. So right now, this is unity, UNITY, great brothers that we align with that we don't even realize in this beautiful estates, these properties, these mental, you know, monstrosities that's going on, that
Mhm.
people are holding gold within their mind. And when you connect with people, you know how they say about manifesting, like, yo, you manifesting something through somebody else multidimensionally. He might be going ahead and collecting some herbs, some type of crystals, some type of herbs. And then
Right.
next thing you know, we sharing it together because you got some type of trade like the original world trade used to be. Is we used to come kinetically connection with each other and utilize what we have with their assets so we could remain gaining assets and utilize these properties so we could actually have some type of leverage and we could actually gain some income. So that's how I feel. Is like I could crystallize through you, you could crystallize through me. I could put some of the land or whatever things that I've built in this manifestation or this crystallization, and there's
Right.
certain key parts that you have intricacy to fit together. And I'm sure you have a great outlet and inlet, that you have major tentacles that a lot of people undermine. So I'm
Well,
giving respect to that.
you know that the saying goes, your network is your net worth, right? And at some point, individuals who understand who they are in the scheme of things in terms of when you realize how vast your network may be, this goes to anybody who has a network. You now then have to utilize, you can't just have a network and not bring your network together, or you can't just have a network and you can't do something with your network without somebody having to tell you exactly what to do with it, right? So we've taken charge of the fact that we're steering our network. We're bringing people from within our network together in order to solve some of the problems that many people in our networks are currently undergoing. So there are 2 to 3 things that are affecting a lot of people in our network currently. And one is the currency. There is a preconceived notion that the quote unquote that currency is drying up, right? Energy never dies. However, they are convincing people to live in some type of mental incapacitated state where they're convincing people that energy is dying right? They're putting people in
Talk
a
to
lack
me.
mind state
Talk
and
to
in
me.
a fear-based mind state, as if they don't have currency, as if they can't generate energy and whatnot. And they're also tricking people into diminishing their real wealth to succumb to giving up their freedom, giving up their health, giving up their true wealth for quote unquote shillings, debt notes, and fiat. And that's a goddamn shame. But that is what's taking
Sure is.
place. They got people selling their goddamn soul and whatnot, giving up their rights, giving up their publishing, giving up their fucking gifts and whatnot. They got niggas giving up their crowns for a check or a few dollars
Souls.
for a cash
All
out.
of
You know what I
you.
mean?
Go to
So
India, they talking about how much to live.
right. So people talking about there's a recession. Yeah, there's a spiritual recession going on. The somebody has come to the debt collector has come to collect. So those 30 years that P. Diddy was running the rap game and he had people selling their souls and whatnot. And then currently, while I'm in Atlanta, they got little boys and girls selling a soul, selling a butthole for $30, selling a mouth. I don't mean to be graphic and whatnot. I'm just putting it out there.
Talk to us, Sam
Memphis,
Chief.
the Houston,
Neutrinos, baby.
Memphis, STD, spiritually transmitted disease culture, the Nicki Minaj gag city culture, the sexy red culture,
Pedophilia.
the Saweetie culture, all of these cultures, the Young Thug, YSL, Slime Life culture, the Pooh Shiesty Mask, Backdoor, the Little Dirk, Smirk 'em Out culture, all of these cultures are dying, but all of them are part of the sickness, and all of them are a part of the quote unquote madness, and all of them are a part of the virus, and all of them is what people are selling. That is part of the sellout. That's a part. People are acting like that's not a part of the sellout. My nigga, that's a part of the sellout.
Absolutely.
You that's a part of the sellout. So
Yeah, high
so
proof.
and that's what's making everybody so broke. So when people saying it is broke, yeah, the whole shit is broke because you motherfuckers are broken.
Mentally,
It's not about
spiritually,
money.
emotionally.
It's not about integrity. It's about people who have sold their souls. So they don't have no soul. They talking about their spiritual bankrupt. They don't have. It's not about because people got cash money. When you go to the club,
This is correct.
you walk in the club and it's spiritually bankrupt. It ain't like, oh, where's the ballers at? It's people standing on couches. It's girls that look like guys standing on couches with Moissanite on. It's a bunch of people with lab diamonds on. It's a bunch of people with fake money from Amazon in the club. Yeah, it looks like it. But you could walk in there and smell that it's spiritually broken. You could look in their eyes and see they unalive. You could look around. You could go in the mall and tell that all of these people are uneducated consumers.
I
If you
say,
pay $2,500 for a bottle section, but you don't pay $2,500 to goddamn buy some stocks or some bonds, or anything dealing with something that can grow some silver, then what the hell? What do we call you? What's your title? Like where do we place you in the scheme of things? Because it's either you have a healthy mind when it comes to how you do things, or you
well,
don't. So
straight
what
up.
we want to do is we want to cure ourselves. We want to be active in our curation. We want to be proactive. We don't want to be reactionary. We want to be preventive in any type of discrepancy that may come about when you swimming with the motherfucking sharks. You might get some leeches on you. So can you talk about a solution that you would, because there's three issues. I only brought this one up. We're gonna deal with the other two. But do you have any insight into that or any solutions you can add to that?
Actually, it's a beautiful question that you asked that. I appreciate your admiration, you know, to even kinetically pick that up. We have 1%, if not 0.1% of our brothers that are walking around this universe that have no insight like that. So I gotta say, something has tapped you in beyond your time to even pick up that information, because a lot of people get programmed. You had to already be here before. They had to send you up in this piece, or you had to send yourself up in here to have that type of cognitive mind at that ageless time. And yes, I'm grateful and primordial in this essence being present right now for us is for 15 years, and especially for these past 9 cycles,
Right.
I've been working on a solution, but throughout the cosmos, working with people that in the Celestine prophecy, anybody that you meet, this is not a coincidence. This exact time, primordially, is there's no such thing as a coincidence. Only
Right.
coincidence that you have is in you if you in the loop system, if you in the programming, like you said. The solution right now is to clean out the mitochondria, the DNA. If we are not going to the blood and following the bloodline, if you could, I could smell blood for some reason for miles away. If somebody eats meat, and even if they eat meat, this ain't no disrespect, is you could smell at a different field in the air of what our brothers and sisters, even my son and my daughter, they still eat shrimp, they still eat meat. When they would
Right.
come around me, being that I eat plants now, it's a different technology that you could smell in the etheric realm. So one solution is first go into the body. You have every single dimethyltryptamine in your body. So I don't know if people lie to you and they like, yo, what's DMT? We not supporting no drugs in no sort of way whatsoever on this channel. So you could denounce the drugs because we don't want that over here. We want the natural neteru coming through our neocortex and our neotropics, because you have ayahuasca, right? Why ayahuasca is so important. I'm going to just show you why ayahuasca is so important. And this book you could get on Amazon. Grandmother Ayahuasca, Christian founder. But guess what? She got Anubis. You got to follow the line. She got Anubis, the one who published this. She had to
Uh-huh.
go through the kings. You got to follow the direction of some of these books, because you can see when people who hold the trade. This is published by Kemetic Science that has a Christian founder. So she had to go through Kemetic Science to actually sign and get this published on a certain channel. What
Right.
this brings up to you here, and how I can prove to you, this ain't about me talking about ayahuasca. This is neuroplasticity right here. Show them this, kid, if you don't mind. Show them a little closer what that is while I explain. I got a sister Kira here, and she's, a goddess. She's just gonna show y'all what neuroplasticity is. When you thinking from neuroplasticity, and you don't have neuroplasticity inside of you,
Right.
you operating right there from these like little laser beams you sending out. These are crystals out of your mind. So if you've been practicing too much secretion, you don't have too much neurogenesis. You don't have too much neuroplasticity to think outside of the box. When you have ayahuasca inside of you, as you can see those telemeters, that's good. You can see those red telemeters. That's perfect, Kira. That's perfect, Kira. Is when you see those red telemeters, that's your mind thinking on a gamma or a alpha omega radiation. You sending out a signal to the source. If we are eating or we practicing hybridized creatures and Lil's consumption, we turn off our telemeters, our glandular. Like when you do yahe, it's a gland. It goes inside of your glands, because these parasitical entities, they enter your synapses all throughout your organs in your body and in your blood, but they come for your brain. That's the first particle that they go to, is your
Explain what
ayahuasca.
Yahe is, please.
Yahesita is Chucrunita, is ayahuasca. This is the colloquial layman terminology for Chucrunita. Chucruna is the original name for Yahesita. Why we say Yaheh? Because we know Yahweh. Yahweh is a brother that has Felon, Seti, Enlil, Satan, Lucifer, one of the greatest archangels to be alive in the third density. Yes, you have to respect your forefathers, because you might meet them while you travel this medicine.
Right.
Yes, I know it sounds a little demonized, but look, we diamonds out here. We seeing things from a different dimension or crystallization. How I'm gonna bring this up to you though too is Yahweh is whenever somebody says Yahweh, they working for the demon. If they don't, you could say Yahweh like me, or Yahweh because I said Yahweh first. So we do sing to Yahweh and then we say Yahweh because the only way to get to Yahweh is through Yahweh. And that's what people fail to realize is that that light bearer, he didn't fall from the sky. He was actually placed, and in the Bible, they might go ahead and lie to you. But when you go to comedic science, our brother Set was there, put for an inversion, perversion, for a reason to get to your mind, let you eat your little fruits, deceive your woman first, and they're gonna get to your organs. Because you know it's a trade out here. Come on, let's be honest with the people. How many of y'all come around the people and y'all operating from your SETI mind and you usurping your brothers? Come on, come on. Don't play around and act like you know this entity or this thing is not around or has not been in the garden forever.
Right.
Okay? So I let me not go too much into my brother. You know, I'm gonna go back to Yahweh. Yahweh. We always say Yah, yo, Yah, yo, hey, Yah, because hey, Yah is a feminine frequency or a divine feminine frequency.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So hey, yeah, hey, yeah,
Hey, Yah, hey, Yah, hey, Yah, hey, hey, Yah, hey,
hey,
Yah,
yeah,
hey,
hey,
Yah,
yeah, oh,
hey.
hey, yeah, hey, yeah.
And then
When they was
also,
in, hold on, cause you Arawak, right, and Taino. So
well,
when
not
we would be in,
Taino. Look, I denounce my look. I'll keep the Taino until my Latin family learn
yes,
that they are not Latin. Those are the Europeans that came and conquered our blood. Our Afro Adiwaks, we do not
yes,
call ourselves Taino. Real Adiwaks
right,
that if they learn this history from the English layman terminology, or I could reverse engineer it, hit them in Spanish, they not gonna say they Taino because every time they say they Taino, when I ask somebody, I'm like, "What are you?" And then I say Adiwak, they like, "Yeah, those are the original name. You can go over here and see the Adiwaks." And then when you say Taino, you're only gonna be hanging out with Europeans, man. You're not gonna see no Afro Central, Puerto
right.
Rican, Bori, Cori, and Ori.
Thank you for that clarification. So Arawak it is, right?
Adiwak,
But when they
Inca,
were indoctrinating us into this whole thing about the Indians being
please, let's go,
cowboys and Indians,
let's
I
go.
remember it was oh, you know what I mean? That was the
Yeah.
Saturday morning cartoons. Shit, that's Slick Rick with fucking with Davy Crockett, King of the Wild Frontier. But yeah, that
Oh, you
hey
know
y'all,
ISIS
that
or Aya? You know Aya, like
yeah,
Haya or
yeah, yeah.
Aya? We will go Aya, Aya, Hello mi amor. Because every time you say it already, hello, or you saying you actually sounding a vibration to her. You're in the primordial womb. So let's say you've been saying Yahweh and you haven't been saying Yahweh or Hey Yah, you actually cutting off your coordinates or your kinetic connection to the primordial water of Hey Yah. And if you do sound Yah Hey, you already drinking medicine right now once you say Yah Hey, because she
Yeah,
follows
hey,
a sound
yeah,
in a vibration.
hey,
Yeah.
yeah,
And you,
hey. So then, yeah, JT Money. Ah, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Who that, who that,
you
who that, who that, who that,
magnetically
who that?
pulling people. Yeah. That's how they doing it.
I
But
like
that's how you
that.
can use the reverse technology and pull them into the draconian too. And that's what people don't realize that when you do come back to your mother, she has a supernatural capability to kinetically tap back into your vocal, your eye of Heru, because our voice or our ear is tapped into our vocal, our octave. So
Of
every
course.
time you do say who,
That's why the music unlocks you. That's why
and you
the
say
frequencies and the tones They unlock you.
And your
So
Icaros.
it was interesting that you said magnetizing people to the draconian. So is that what they're doing with the music and some of the and some
Hypnosis.
huh?
That that's exactly what they do. But go ahead, finish. So let me not
Yeah, I was
excuse me.
saying, is that are they doing that with the hooks? Are they doing that with some of these quote unquote
Happy
songs?
birthday to you. Happy birthday. So every 16 bar or every time you have a hook, it's the same way where they're like, what is that? Twinkle, twinkle, or rock 'em out. They already hypnosing you from the sound vibration into your melanin properties. But let's say you are more calcified, it's gonna gravitate to you more, and you're gonna be singing that stuff. Like if you hear people, you ever seen people and they know all the words to like all the music.
Right.
Those are the exact people, and I'm one of those people that had to reverse engineer myself with the Ikaros. That's why if you hear me a lot, I listen to a lot of chanting music and mantra
Yeah.
music because I'm reverse engineering the programming that was once installed through me, through my DNA, through my mother that used to listen to this music. So it goes beyond my mom. This goes beyond words can explain in the physical form how programmed that some of us are. And these
Yeah.
triple root does help to open up your neuroplasticity so you can see these programmings.
Right. Cause you do drive around listening to chant music. Like
I'm
when
always
you
in
was in a
ceremony.
right, when you was
Right
in
now,
Atlanta. Huh?
right now, I don't know what they possess me with, but I cannot get out of ceremony. I can't stop singing. I can't stop hitting the drum. I can't. I don't know. I can't stop even lighting the cigars or
Right.
like I don't know what it is.
So
Some people grab. Go
you
ahead.
stuck in ceremony, my G?
I ain't gonna hold you every day for me. What I realized in being an Ariwa, like being a cacique or a mitra, a master of the plants, is
Right.
that the way people don't realize that patos, like these plants, yo, they have I all my plants died this year. There's only a few. My mom gave me one. And can you bring that plant over here? Because I just want to show you how important plants are. Like like plants really you think that humans just got a life or your children got a life. I ain't
Right.
gonna hold you. When you have like plants around you, my mom, she couldn't grow this plant. It was dying on her. And when she gave me it, she gave me this plant, and for some reason, I've seen it being passed down with the Russians, with the Jews, and everybody. And I
Right.
know the frequency, but she was going through something. So when I started speaking to her, I was healing a part of my mother. And then my
Mm.
mom came crying to me on the island. She's like, I want to learn what you learned. Some of your family members, they're watching you right now and
For
they don't
sure.
tell you because in the physical forum of colloquialism and layman terminology, they don't know how to speak to you because of the confidence level that you might have or the sensory you might have. It could distort the way that they feel it on the emotional side. The same way when you talk to women, you say one thing to your daughter or your wife, you make one wrong assertive action. It's like a flower. They'll bend up and be like, hold on. And they're
Right.
supposed to birth so much into the universe and when I'm taking care of this plant, I'm taking care of my mother. I'm taking care of my genes. And then also my mom spoke to this plant. So you don't realize that plants hold internal revenue, internal DNA. You could suck on a seed and it could create antibacterial for you, especially if it's a mother seed never been touched by a man. You suck
Yeah.
on that seed, your saliva, your DNA goes into the seed and it actually starts to revitalize your central nervous system supernaturally. That's why I love these plants because you could speak to your ancestors through the mycelium of these plants. They have a way. You don't have to tap into the phone to speak to your mom. I can
Mm.
speak to her through the ET phone home, but also if she touched this plant, had vibrations with this plant, it's holding a piece of her neurons that went into this plant to help it keep it, nurtured the same way she kept me alive. I say.
Ashay. Facts. So let's do this, King. Let the family know
I
what
do
we
want
gonna
to tell them about the I want to tell them because we start in a temple, the temple. We call them a church. We scared of these 50 C 508 C1As, But right
Right.
here, we join in a foundation where we have agroforesting. And I wanted to do a live later, but I wanted to talk to you about agroforesting. Agroforesting is not using no pesticides and no fertilizers. You could cut down certain parts of your trees, like right here, this branch. You see how it's turning yellow? I could cut her down, cut her into small little pieces, and put her back into the pot. And that right there will build nutrients. It'll build fertilizer, everything for it. I could burn a piece of this, turn it into um uh I could turn this into
Okay.
ashes, and then I put it inside so the bugs watch out and also feed it minerals. So I want to implement that with the land and the foundation over there in Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic. We got 93 acres of land alone, just like you met me. And I'm like, yo, come to my land. I got 4 bedrooms. I got a nice couple of acres. We got avocados, mangoes, we got sugar cane, we got papaya, we have mangoes, we have bananas and burro bananas. So not only that, we have coconuts. So we have another 200 acres in the land where you learn. In Puerto Rico, I want to give y'all this because Puerto Rico is the United States treasury, and why it's so important to us Puerto Ricans or Borinquens.
Right.
Anybody that's Puerto Rican, go back to your land. They give you free land. If anybody has an ID, they give you free land. You are owned. Your land is owned to you by blood. We never left our rights of Ariwak or Tainos. We already own the land, so they give you free property. People that try to come there and then they leave the property, they can't deal with tornadoes. They can't deal with washing and no electricity. But us Puerto Ricans, we adapt to that stuff. So you could get back to the land and start rejuvenating your land for free. Go on clasificados, look at people that's giving away free houses. If you have some type of corporation or some type of ID that signifies your blood tribal land back to the land, they give you free property. So right here, can you put this closer, Kira? Yeah. So they can see that. That's the design for the foundation for Puerto Rico, the state in Puerto Rico to utilize this as
Yeah.
leverage, right? And then also utilize the banking systems because you get different funds and access to money, being that you have a treasury set up in Dominican Republic or a trust set up in Puerto Rico and having different banking systems. Show this one too, because this is right there. Put it up to the closer a little bit. Is That's the one with the Cofana that is tied to the Incas. Why I only work with my blood is yes, some of them are conquistadors. They even sing the Icaros in the conquistadors. But respect conquistadors because if you had blood, that's good. If you had, thank you, Kira, appreciate you. If you have blood, you don't realize a lot of them were raped, pillaged, and slaved just like some of us. They've been all scattered throughout Peruvian. There's trillions of Delta people that are on off the grid that live in the Amazon that they will shoot an arrow from so far away. I don't care what vest, what type of intelligence you got in the naval. They play from a different spiritual realm that it could pierce through walls. I just say it like that. And they cut your
Right.
body open, see what you've been eating because they don't like when you start coming down there and eating certain of their plants or certain of their animals. So that's why we have to be wise going out to the Amazon. And this is what I was gonna say is like this is that they're looking to give us the medicine in the Western world or the chucrunita. I don't really utilize the layman terminology to express
Right.
chucrunita
Right.
and medicine terminology because I want to keep that 100% separate. That's a different technology. Chucrunita. This is a dimethyltryptamine that goes inside of your brain. It gets all parasites outside of your brain. It kinetically connects you to your ancestral bloodline. So the first day I did ayahuasca, my son was coming. I seen him go through the ovaries. I had to name him Haru. I had to name my daughter Isis. One is 6, one is 3 cycles around the sun. The medicine gave me its own direction, showed me all these hieroglyphics going through my blood. Every single hieroglyphics you see in ancient Kemet, especially different hieroglyphics that come from another time and space, all went through my blood and reactivated my heart. And it was a different type of experience. And everything
Mm.
that I seen in the Yahe either was bad dreams, bad things that I had to get out of my mind so I could receive different things. And then certain things came in and it was spot on to the
Right.
point where even whoever's hearing this message We not asking you to purchase. All of this money is going right to the Amazon. The medicine has her own frequency, so she calls you. We don't make the calling. If you see it and you feeling pulled or gravitated to it, that's actually her telling you something. It's not me. She might be using me as the vessel, the spaceship, but the
Right.
connection that you've been studying, if you even never heard about it or you hearing about it now, that's your own calling. So we giving back to the jungle, respecting the Incas are of our blood. You have certain conquistadors still of our blood, but throughout the raping and pillaging, or also I would say the militia with the drug trade, the CIA, them utilizing the militia, the military, all working in one member. British Columbia, we going up to the most parts of the universe that started from the Brits. It didn't start from Europe. Everybody don't realize this is a major British colonialism. So this comes from Colombia. So when we go down there, yeah, we feel some type of way. They see us come down there, they're like, oh, the Afros are starting to come learn they stuff. This is our technology. If you go to Gabon or you Mesoamerica, Inca, that's Enki. That's our original flight suit. These are our I'm gonna leave this with you right here, Red, because I know I'm
Real
going over
quick, real
to
quick. We gonna continue this conversation, but I really want to get into the petroleum conversation because that
yes.
is mind blowing. And I'm
I
gonna
could
just leave
explain.
it at, I'm gonna say it like this. Let's just use Venezuela for example.
Ashe, come on, baby. Talk to me with that knowledge.
Venezuela, they going to war with Venezuela over the petroleum, but it's a double petroleum thing, family, because the cocaine is petroleum. It's petroleum based. And the oil is petroleum based. Yes,
And
the
that
cocaine is petroleum, y'all.
fentanyl as
Along
well.
with the hair, along with the clothes, along with all of the fake shit. But
Plastic,
petroleum
yes.
is coke.
Yes.
And it's the oil that niggas is dying over. It's all petroleum based.
But not coke necessary of coca, of the leaf,
Not the
but
leaf, but they make cocaine out
Coca-Cola,
with
the
petroleum.
acid. No, 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 no.
In order to turn coca leaf, which is natural, what
They
people are
use
original,
petroleum.
what is
Yes.
indigenous,
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
It's
they use it
plant
all
based.
petroleum.
The coca leaf is plant based. The petroleum and all of that other shit
Cocaine.
created cocaine.
Mushrooms. Antibiotics is from a blue mushroom from the Congos or from the Amazon, and they use petroleum based. I'll break
Right.
whatever you
Yes,
ready. I could
it's
break
in a
them all down
prescription.
to you.
It's in pharmacopoeia. It's in a prescription.
But what is it
Yes.
doing, Red? Why are they doing that? To do that because they know you need the stimuli to connect your organs and keep your mainframe together. But then they put in petroleum based too to hijack your central nervous system, which is the yoni, your yoni egg, what people call the pituitary gland. They don't realize the same yoni you came from your mother, that's another yoni. But she sends you out with another yoni as well, the nani, the yoni egg, because she knows that no matter where you go, if they eat it, they chop it up or whatever, you don't even realize somebody that took any of these Canaanites, Phoenicians that took your blood, they don't even realize they just had the bloody old sacrifice. The new neutrinos about to activate them. They about to do the same thing that the Matrix just did. All the agents are about to be shifted because they ate a piece of us. So now they got our crystallines inside of them. What we utilize technology is we know we don't play around with this technology, especially Chukurunita. We will come inside of your mainframe and we will antivirus it up and you won't even realize that you thought you had everything you had, and then next thing you know, you end up in Puerto Rico. You had all that crypto, and then you don't realize the same way they're gonna hijack you through the mainframe. You think it's colloquial money is really gonna last for you, but you don't realize right now. Utilizing that money, yeah, we could utilize it intellectual properties. We could re-engineer, we could reverse or re-engineer the reversing. But anybody that's trying to steal like the Rothschilds, considering these vortexes, they already know Babylon is on fire right now. They eating every snake tail. They turning on each other. Militaries don't even know who to trust. Agents don't even, and not only that, the blood that I just talked about is going inside of them. I met officers that tried to lock me up. They like, yo, I will never lock you up again because when I talked about dope and their son or their brothers, doctors and I broke them down to medicine in another way, they were like, yo, I'm out of this. Like part of my family, I'll tell you, look, I'm from I'm from not here, but I'm from the streets as well, and I'm from some rich parts of my family. I have military, police, everybody. I trained my brother and to get in the military, martial arts, ASVAB, everything. Something in my spirit told me don't go there. I watch my family that is in the military right now. He knows
Right.
that they're having a fight with two governments. He tells me, I know about ion propulsion because I know one of my Air Force family, they working on it on with Black Ops. So it's not like I get this information just from where I get it from. I also the information that comes from my family is like, yo, what's going on in my military that I work for? And I'm telling them, look, you don't realize these are two admiralty laws, these are two jurisdictions, two governments, and then it all makes sense to them because now their agent Smith is turning against them because now they have our original Arawakan blood. So now it's turning on a lot of people that work for some of these forces. And even like I had this lady, this cop, I was selling bud. I had my bud, I had mushrooms, it was posted up somewhere, right? This
Right.
lady, she a cop. She came up to me. She ain't had no gun. Dominican chick. She said, yo, I like what you're doing. I said, what's the matter? You here to bother me? She said, nah, I don't even have a gun for 16 years. She's telling me she infiltrated the system. She's telling me that if I want to sell anything, just call her. Anybody come and bother me over there in front of
Yo,
the
slow down. I mean,
sorry.
you're putting a lot of information out there. I don't want you because remember, we all this IG. We're in a new era of IG, so we got to be very
Yeah, and I was all doing all donations, so I keep it like that and
I
simple
know.
for me. But as I say bud and mushrooms, I could say cordyceps. So
No,
what
I
I'm
know that.
saying,
I ain't saying it like that. I ain't saying it like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But
I
I
don't have no
want you to
trade-off
because
sacrifices. So
because
if they do
we
come for
about
me,
to.
they
I'm in
come
the
for
country
themselves.
wisdom. We about to get on YouTube later on
Yeah,
and have a conversation. I don't want to go too far because
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
do
yeah.
gotta dip. You know what I mean?
Thank you for that.
Let them
So I
know.
respect.
Let them know that they could DM either me or you to get the information about the January Columbia trip. We didn't even really get into all of that, but let them know if they want to learn any further details, just DM either me or you, and you'll be able to receive everything else that you need. And we'll be back.
Anybody, go ahead, add that wisdom.
We'll be back. We'll be on YouTube on Know the Ledger 444 for Saturday Night Live tonight. I think 10 p.m. Eastern. And
Yeah, yeah,
um and we'll be back on IG as well to keep the bill going. But Colombia in January, ladies and gentlemen, 10 days. We're gonna be in the jungles of Amazon, doing the magic, doing the work, doing the healing,
I
doing the
said
activation, and the God, He will be our guide through the jungles. We trust Him. We know that He is good work and whatnot. So yeah, that's what it is.
they gave me enough ayahuasca to kill myself last time. And part of this ayahuasca, do need to shed parts of your body to get rid of them to even sit in a circle with some of these mitras. So they're not giving it to you to really kill yourself, but you have a lot of egoic ways that you don't even know about yourself. And when they actually blow inside and they make these prayers, it's really to get all of these different entities that you don't realize you coming from the Western world. I'm going to say like this, anybody that wants to hear about anything, hit up Brother Red. Red will direct message me because this is like really going through the back door. So this information, these type of herbs, we not just giving this information out to everybody. I know I'm sorry it's not happening. Call Red or DM Red. He gonna hit me up. And even if you got the QR code, anybody that says anything, make sure they say, yo, I'm on Red's platform, I'm on Rich's platform. I would like to know so I understand too with the great brothers who's coming through the pipeline, who's coming through the chain. But go through the chain of command. You already see my man Red, he hold the root. So Red hold the root. You heard? I'm definitely with the yellow star. You heard? And my blue star. Shout out to
Right.
Blue Pillar. But let's get it. Go through Red. And this is going to be not only for this month, you could do it next month. So, yes, you want to get into it now. enjoy it. But we do it in June. We also do it every January. You're going straight to the Amazon. You getting chacruna out on their land. They cooking it in a wood. They cooking it the old-fashioned way, where chacruna could be hot and it's sent through different parts of the Amazon or all over the world. And it's a hot paste. It's hot. You more fiery. When you down in the jungle and you on the Amazon soil, you get in the top layer. If anybody know how to cook anything up, and y'all from Brooklyn, y'all from New York, from the West Coast, y'all from Atlanta, y'all from all the North, South, dirtiest, cleanest part of New York, when we like to cook it up, we like to cook it up the cleanest way. So you get everything from the top layer where it's not hot. Where now when you're doing the chacruna, if you try to do it here, it's like you doing Xanax out here because you can't even really open up a portal. But the cleanest chacruna you getting is straight. We go down to the Amazon. They cutting it right there on the source. They actually going straight to the these things go for 30 days. They gotta watch it for 30 days. So these brothers are drinking the yahe, staying up with the fire every 8 hours to 12 hours. They switching, or some of the people are just they supernatural. So they've been doing this for so long that you wondering like how these people sitting there for 30 days cooking this much medicine for throughout a lot of tribes. So but when you go to the Amazon, you really get in the freshest, purest of the purest. And make sure you do 3 days. A lot of people are scared to do 3 days. First day opens you up, cleanses you out. Second day you start getting used to the medicine. Third day you actually get your closed out circle. You actually get your gifts. If you consider the third day of Chakrunita, if you could last that long,
Right.
respectfully. Ashe.
Shay,
Give
my
it.
brother.
Yes.
So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, in the spirit of evolving and the spirit of what 2026 represents, the upgrade, the shift. You know what I mean? Like we made it through the third eye atlas. Now it's time to activate the third eye. You know what I mean? So
Ashe.
we trust the brother, you know what I mean? But make sure that y'all go through me. Do not be hitting him up, talking about, yo, Red. No, you got to come through me so we could vet
The
everybody
root.
and we could create that bridge and whatnot. It's just, for respect, just to
Yes.
keep it everything within contained and keep everything with the proper channel that it
Absolutely.
requires. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, 10 days, January, Columbia, get your passports. You know what I'm talking about? We ain't talking about the District of Columbia either.
And if
You
they want to
know?
know what the travel is like, let them hit you up. But we can do that later on, how the traveling is and everything. If they need to know the price, they want to ask those questions, we could go
When
through
I
that day
say
after we
when I say
talk.
yeah, when I say super affordable, you will never ever get a deal like this ever. Dead
You paying
ass.
five
Like
thousand dollars at Rhythmia, and you're
facts.
not even getting the same thing. I went to Rhythmia. I sat with caciques in Rhythmia, and I'm not saying nothing wrong with Rhythmia, but I'm telling you, I went there, had great experiences. But one thing that I understood is the person that does it is a more I'm not going to even say it. I'm going to just say like this. If you want a more natural experience from the people that actually live, sleep, and breed this chacrunita, and the chacrunita breeds them, you want to go with the source, because when you have different other aliases trying to monetize in this colloquialism type of money, the type of people I deal with, they would even give you the chacrunita for free. And I'm just sharing that with my brother Red. And this is how it
Yeah.
works with us. We if people are really looking for a different type of thing, we work the way to get it to you for free. And I'm gonna just leave that as that. You won't have to book your own flight and get situated. But yeah, we work on different levels over here with this. I
All right,
say.
my guy. Ashe. We'll be back in touch with y'all, family. Peace,
And
love,
I'm
and light.
saying to Dominican Republic and other places, but when you go down there, we could work it out, but don't come over there and be like, yo, you got $1,000 or whatever later on, or 2,000, and then we gonna go through your medicine mind and be like, yo, how you gonna come up here and we just checked your whole, not even us, the ancestors. When you take this medicine, they checked my mother, my grand, they checked, and I know this sound a little weird.
It's like a credit check,
Yeah,
spiritual
they
credit
check you
check.
through your through your however you could explain that, Red. Please keep that, because that's exactly you just explained it to the T.
Mm-hmm. That's what's
Yeah.
up.
Yo,
But look,
blessings.
blessings. We're gonna get back up, ladies and gentlemen. We'll do a part two. This is just a brief, introduction. Peace, love, and light. You know what I mean? Hit me on the DM if this sounds like something that y'all want to get into, and we'll give you more info. Peace.
Ashe. Peace.
Ashe.
Abundance, prosperity.
Yes, yes.